Greetings, people. I hope you're all doing just great. Listen, I just parked by the roadside because the Spirit of the Lord dropped a word in my spirit. It dropped a revelation into my spirit. It's not really a revelation. It's something that I did not want to expose at this earlier stage of the Enlightenment series. But the Spirit of the Living Lord kept pushing me that, no, you have to talk about this. You have to talk about this. There's probably some people that are bound. There are probably some women, young women, that do not understand what is going on with their lives because they are not yet aware of this truth. Please don't mind. I actually have my sunroof open for light, and I'm going to proceed with my journey to where I'm going, but I feel like I should say this. I don't know who's going to be impacted, who's going to be, helped by this revelation, by this truth that I'm going to tell you. This is one thing that is going to move them, shake them, and it's going to destabilize them. To those that will relate to what I'm saying, to those that will understand what I'm saying, to those few people that have been inspired to deliver this message to, or to bring this enlightenment message to, I hope they will be set free. And when you're set free, please pray about it. Please consult. Don't consult a prophet. If this message touches you, please, if you can relate to what I'm going to say now, please consult. But don't consult a prophet from Ghana. Don't consult a prophet from Nigeria. Don't consult any prophet that you know that is here in Africa. Don't. They are traditional healers, these people. They are ritualists and they are occultic beings. They are just using the Bible. They don't have anything of the Spirit. They don't. So please don't go for any prayers from any one of these charlatans or any one of these prophets. If you don't know who to consult, please, I'm going to put my number here. Reach out to me. I know who has helped some people with regards to issues like this. Listen, most of you have wondered the leadership of these occultic churches, the leadership, the pastors, and those people that are close to prophets. Maybe you have been wondering and you have been thinking, you have been processing, why do your prophets, tell me any significant prophet or any influential prophet that really has a big ministry here in Africa, why they have beds in their offices? Why do they have beds, sleeping beds in their offices, and the shower and everything in their offices? I know what you're thinking right now. I know where your mind is rushed to make you think, oh, because after service they'll be tired. Oh, sometimes they just want to rest. Oh, sometimes they just want to, relax because of the fatigue and because they are weary and they are so tired after. No, that's not the reason why they put beds in their offices. All African prophets, they have beds in their offices. Think of Lukau, think of Bushidi, think of, I'm not sure about Makgadire, because Makgadire's demon is not really, fed with sexual, rituals. Makgadire, he worships a god of Mammon. So all his ritualistic activities, they are, instigated with money. Anything that is money related is one thing that Makgadire specializes in, to take money from people. But back to the story, I was talking about beds. Do you know why they have beds in their offices? Listen, I work hard. There are so many billionaires in the world that have magnanimous offices, but they don't have beds in their offices. There are many business people, influential people in the world. They don't have bedrooms in their offices. If you go, most of you have never had access to what I'm talking about. You've never had that kind of access to your spiritual father's offices. To those that have had the access, to those that know, that can relate to what I'm saying, the women, 90% of the women in church, you know what I'm talking about, because you're the people that have been in those bedrooms that are in their offices. Men might not even know about this. The husbands might not even know about this, but the women, the wives, they know about what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you a revelation. I'm going to give you a secret that you are not aware of. And one thing that I want you to know is there is no African prophet. There is no prophet. This I say it. If there is one that can challenge me and say I'm lying, please come forward. Challenge me to say I'm lying. There is no African prophet without a snake and a horn. It's either one of the two. As long as that prophet has gone to Ghana, as long as your spiritual father went to Nigeria, as long as they went to Ghana or Nigeria, they have a snake or they have a horn. You never see this snake, but they have it. The horn, some have made mistakes of getting it exposed, and few people have seen the horn of their spiritual fathers. But the snake, it has only been seen by those women that are too spiritual, that have been to their spiritual fathers' bedrooms. This, what I'm saying to you, is very sensitive. It's very sensitive to the core. It's very sensitive to a point that if they're listening to this, it's something that is going to destabilize them. And the ritual of them having a snake, this thing of snakes, most of you don't believe it. You think it's just a myth. You think it's just a mystery. You think it's a conspiracy theory. This thing is real. This thing of horns, it's real. This thing of rings. Have you seen your prophet, your spiritual fathers with a golden ring, and it has a red kind of topping on it? Do you know what that red item is on that ring? This is an exposure for another day, but it's very dangerous. It's either they have a horn, they have a snake, or they have that ring or a walking stick. All these symbols are not just for fashion, or they are not just for resembling their status. No. It's a ritualistic activity that they are carrying out. Each and every time you see them wearing a ring, you'll never attend a prophetic conference or a prophetic whatnot without him wearing that ring. You have seen this, you have thought it's fashion, you thought it's bling. It's not. I will dig deep into this and I will explain to you. I don't want to give you everything at one go because it will confuse you. So back to the question of what I was talking about. These bedrooms are for sexual rituals. Ladies, you have gone to these offices. You have slept on these beds. You have been slept with on these beds, and you know it. You will never know. You might not have the guts to talk about it. You might not have the guts to come out and say, this is true. Yes, we went to that. But you know what I'm talking about. Most of the time when these prophets sleep with you in their beds, in these office beds, they'll make sure that they turn off the lights. Let's say even if you visit them to their hotel rooms, you have never, if you're a woman and you're watching this, you have never slept with your spiritual father or with your prophet, or maybe you are not a church person, you're just watching this by coincidence. If you have ever visited a prophetic, an African prophet that has gone to Ghana or that has gone to Nigeria, they have never had intercourse with you while the light is open. Impossible. Now here's the catch. You think they don't want light, but you are not sleeping with your prophet. He's not the one that you're sharing a bed with. Most of you think these prophets, they have sexual appetite. You think they have too much sexual appetite, more than any other man on the planet. But no, it's not them. You're sleeping with something that needs that intercourse. Remember, sex is spiritual. Whenever there's intercourse, there is a transfer of some spirits. So it's always an exchange. And most of the times, they are just taking. They are just feeding their sexual prowess. They are just reinforcing their rituals during this sexual activity, which they are not physically participating in. You will be under the impression that it's the man of God you are sleeping with. You will be under the impression that it's this prophet that you're sleeping with, but it's not. When you touch, you feel him, but it's not him. This is too deep. I just did not want to do this exposure now, but I felt like it was necessary for someone that have slept with the prophet. If you have slept with the African prophet that went to Nigeria, to Ghana, or that have been subscribing to the likes of TB Joshua, please, please, please. You might not know what has been wrong with your life. You might not know why your life has been so dismal. You have no idea why your life has lost direction ever since you slept with this prophet. I'm telling you, there is something that happened during that intercourse. It might have been once, twice, or 3 times, or many times. The more times you did it, the more in danger you are right now. You might not have confessed this with your friends, with your family, or with ever because you fear criticism, or they told you that this is a secret. Please don't tarnish my image. Don't let anyone know. You are so special. You are the only person that I've done this with. So please, can you try to keep this between us? They probably gave you money so that you zip it. That money could have been finished by now, or that money could have even gone in ways that you don't even understand. You did not do a single thing with it. That's how it works. The money is not meant for you. The money is just an illusion, so that you feel like you have been given something of value in exchange of the transfer of your light that you have done during the sexual intercourse. But the money is just an illusion. You will not even understand where that money went. If they gave you 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, tell me one woman that has slept with either Bushidi, Jeremiah Omoto, or Iginla, or Iginla is also a... Joshua Iginla is also a... I'll get into the full exposure of Iginla. He is also a devilish person. Might have slept with Sulumani, and you slept with any prophet that you have. Don't believe you me. These people, they are in deep. They are in deep. And if you have had this kind of covenant with them, this sexual covenant with them, my sister, you need help as soon as possible. Right now, you don't even know that you are in some deep mess. You don't know it because you're not conscious of it. The darkness that has been left with you, it makes you feel like life is just going the way that it should have been going. But my sister, your life will never be the same again until you get cleansed of this nonsense. You need to be cleansed of this interaction. And if you're still sleeping with these prophets, you are endangering your life. You are just going to become a walking carcass. You will not even know what's happening in your life. Don't be fooled by the little money that they gave you. That's just not enough. It does not equate to what you're losing to them. It doesn't. I'm saying this from the point, from a place of love. This is coming from a place of love. I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but this is real. This is real. They don't love sex. It's not them. They have signed up to things that they have signed up to. And the only way that they can maintain the covenant that they did with the forces of darkness is by keeping up with the conditions. These were the terms and conditions of their covenants with the dark spirits. Remember, they don't get this hypnosis and these powers of manipulation and these powers of attracting and fooling people into giving them money without exchanging something, without doing any sort of transaction. They did not pay for those things, but they sacrificed certain things. And for them to get what they got, the powers, the diabolic powers of manipulation and spiritual whatnot, they had to sign to terms and conditions, and they have to abide by them. And they are using people to abide to the terms and conditions of the dark world. If they don't abide, their lives will be in danger. If they don't abide, that's why you see they will start now losing their own family members. They will start losing their children. They will start losing their wives. But they'll make sure they don't lose their wives because it will be too obvious. They'll start losing their parents, their brothers, their sisters. And you think it's natural death. It's not. It's because they'll be trying to get out of it. But they are in too deep. The terms and conditions don't allow them to just get out of it just like that. I want to leave you. I want to throw a curveball at you. Bushidi left South Africa. He went to Malawi. All of a sudden, the child goes away. The little one passes away. His things were not moving at all. And in South Africa, he was being imprisoned because he was trying to get out of this nonsense. The moment he got to Malawi, he thought he can remain stubborn. He thought he could remain stubborn and try to run ministry by his own will. Because the problem is when they get these powers and then they get to a certain level, they think they can surpass that level through their own ways. And they'll try to cut the connection between them and the dark world and the people that would have given them powers. They'll try to do it on their own. But as they try, they'll realize that no, they'll never make it without that reinforcement. He got to a point whereby he lost a child. And after that child went, look at how he's booming. Look at how all the gullibles that had given up on him are following him again. A sacrifice has to be made. Think about it. And like I said, if you have a relative, a sister that have been in this kind of relationships, that have slept with these charlatans, that have had that sexual intercourse or intimacy with these charlatans, please don't hesitate. Talk to your brother. Let me assist you. I'm not the one that is going to assist you. Let me assist you in a way that I think will help you. And you tell me if your life will be the same. But above all, we'll keep praying for you. We'll keep wishing you well. And I keep imploring you to leave these people. Depart from these people. If your wife has been slept with these people, stay away from her. Completely. I'm not trying to destroy your marriages or anything. There's no thing called forgiveness when there's infidelity. Especially infidelity with a charlatan. Especially infidelity with a guy that went to Ghana or Nigeria to get powers. I'll check you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. And I'm going to explore more on this subject, but I just thought I should dish it out to you before it oozes out of my system. Stay blessed, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification icon. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again. I'm out. Peace.